Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the FTS Football Trading Nuts and Bolts series. Thank you ever so much for joining me. I'll just say a few hellos. I'm not going to do everyone. We obviously have quite a few people in tonight, which is great. Evening, Kevin Jorgen, Steve Rhodes, Jim Stanton. Hello, Andy Marnell. Summers is back from his Hungarian football exploits in Germany. Sharon, hello. Nibs89, hello. Jimmy Carrigan, hello. Martin, hello. John, Nitesh. Good to see a good number of you in here, and hello to everybody else. Anybody I haven't missed, I can't possibly go through the whole list. Right. What is the football trading? Lyndon Beams, hello. That's a name from the past. What is the FTS Nuts and Bolts series? I want this to be interactive. I want to have your input. For this first session, I'm going to run you through some bits. It's going to be a combination of mindset and thinking, how we should think about things, with some data interpretation. I'll state right now, I'm not going to give you some set strategies that you can go off and use, but I'm going to talk around some of the ways through these series that I look at data and how I build strategies, and what I use for. And that is basically to run you through some football betting trading basics. Will help you on your journey. If you're an active trader, I think some of the stuff I do will help you. There'll be people, I know that. And obviously, if you're brand new to this, then I think this will be really beneficial. But I think it's going to be beneficial to everybody, and help you with your mindset and your approaches to your trading. What I will share is set to supplement your own trading and your learning. As I say, it's not just to give you stuff. I've come across thousands of people over the 17 years that FTS has been online, who wish to be football traders. I know from those thousands, handfuls of successful ones. The aim has always been to up that percentage, less failures, more successes. I'll stress again, it's just supplement. This isn't going to be super slick productions like perhaps BetAngel or some of the other football trading sites who solely do it to actually don't actually give you a lot of information. I tend to tell you what I do, but not many people do actually tell you what I do, and I'll cover that in the series why I do that now. Or it's super slick YouTube sales productions. I'd say a lot of it is style over content. I hope I'm going to give you content, and in sacrificing that, you'll have to accept with me switching screens, probably clicking on the wrong thing a few times, going from slides on 1 minute to spreadsheets another, and we'll be doing that sort of thing, but hopefully we'll get you there. So as I say, it is to supplement what you do. It's not you're not. I really want to stress that, because I don't want people, if you've tuned in thinking I'm going to be really rich after this, everything involves a bit of work. After 15, 16, 17 years, and I've said this quite a bit over the last season, I find what I do now relatively easy. There's quite a lot of negativity around punting at the minute. I think there's far too much stuff that people focus on that they shouldn't. It's no use focusing on affordability checks if you can't do anything about them, and jumping up and down doesn't do anything. Obviously, if you're affected by them and you get asked, you make your decision. Do you want to send the information in or don't you? Ultimately, most of us have to send some information in to get the facility that we want. Yes, I think it's nonsense, but it's pointless jumping up and down about it. I'm going to talk about studying markets. Sugsy's in. Good evening, Sugsy. I've used thousands of techniques and strategies myself, literally learning markets, discovering and developing what works for me, and that's one of the key elements. You get to see a lot of that side. So when I do the live trading and when I talk about trading methods, you get to see the output. You don't tend to get to see all the work behind the scenes that goes into it. I know some of you may have an idea, and some of you do your own work with spreadsheets, but a hell of a lot of work gets to the stages of these outputs. And unfortunately, most people give up, sort of I don't know, whatever it may be, change their method or whatever it is at the first sign that things become whether a bit of initial effort is required. Of course, if you are expecting great riches, as I say from this, you may as well leave. I can't help you. Just today, literally about an hour ago, I sat down at my computer to get ready for this. I've got an email about I want to join Ultimate. Can I do it? I'm no good at Excel. And I've emailed back, well, yes, you can do it. Of course you can. But you're probably going to have to learn some elements of Excel. Everything is in Excel. So I don't know what I'm no good at Excel means. So, but you do need basic Excel skills. You can learn it all for 30 days for free. You know, you can go to Chrissy's spreadsheets course 30 for 30. You learn all the Excel you need to do what I do. Just a bit of effort. Came back with a load of abuse, excuses. And all I do with that is I just put them in the bin because I think I'm not going to, it's pointless continuing that conversation. I'm wasting my time, and no matter what he does, he's got zero chance. I get excuse emails from some names in here as well. I'm not going to name any names every week of my life why people cannot do things. And that, you know, there's a famous saying, if you say you can't, you're right. And that's the key to it. The key to all this, and I'm going to do a podcast series alongside it, is you have to want to do it. I love what I do. I've had moments when I haven't. Of course I have. I had a period where I stopped trading overall a few years back because probably a bit of burnout, just got fed up with it. And then when I came back to it, I loved it more than before I'd given up. I wanted to do it when I started out in 2006-7. So I applied myself. And I think that people tend to say they want to do things. I've experienced a lot of this. People tend to say they want to do things, but the reality is, when push comes to shove, they don't. They just want the results, the output at the end, and that's just been really common. I will, and there's people in here I've known a long time. I will constantly urge you to continue and improve. Firstly, to understand what you're involved in, and I'm going to show you some of that tonight and how it works. And then to fight those initial stages and failures. We all have failures. We all, I've had systems that have struggled, and you tweak them and you change them and you can't see a light. Again, I had a text yesterday from somebody who's done something that's been really successful in the first goal scorer market, and he's on his worst ever run, and he sort of said, it's really beating me up. We all have to go through those periods. It's part of what we do. Doesn't matter who you are, and what you see on Twitter or all these things get exacerbated as if everybody's just. There's a few people on Twitter just never ever losers. They're just amazing. Never ever losing bet. Absolutely incredible. That's far from the reality. What we need to do is just keep forging habits and doing the same thing. I operate with good habits, or certainly I think I do. And most people operate with bad habits and don't really change them. Habit change takes a bit of time. Great book, Atomic Habits. For those of you who haven't read it, it's a really good book to read. Initially, it can seem hard, and I'm talking about all walks of life. Initially, it seems hard. One of the things I'm gonna match in with the podcast series is how much changing things in your life can help your output of your betting, and I've really found that over the last few years. But change is hard, and changing habits is hard, and initially it seems hard and you feel you're not getting anywhere, and it's really easy to give up. The easiest thing is just to go back to what you were doing, and you have to fight daily, and it is daily, through that initial mental resistance. Once you've been doing it for 2-3 months, it starts to become easier, and by the time you get to 4-6 months, those new habits are set in. And you rinse and repeat that over several habits. You can start with just changing a couple of habits early, and then once you've got through those, you do exactly the same process for another 2, and you can very quickly change your life. As I say, talk about many things. It might be weight loss, health and fitness, relationships, fun, wealth. All these things come under the same umbrella that you can do it. I'd file football trading and betting for me in the wealth section. It's not a fun thing for me. It's a job. It's money. It's a wealth thing. Other people may file it in the fun section. They want a football trade. It's not the be all and end all. They want to turn a profit, but they want to have fun doing it. So you've got to decide where that would fit in. And don't try and change everything all at once in your life. I think that's another thing that then is when it becomes an overwhelming chore for people. Break things down into manageable chunks. Everything should be achievable, measurable, and manageable. They're the 3 words that I use. You've got to be able to achieve what you're setting out to do. You've got to be able to some way to measure that. So where did I start, and measure your progress. And you've got to be able to, it's got to be manageable. It's no point me setting a goal saying I'm going to climb Mount Everest, because it clearly is never ever going to happen. So the first thing might be to start to climb a 20-foot hill in Kent. I'm never ever going to, and that's it. Climbing a 20-foot hill in Kent is achievable. Climbing Mount Everest clearly isn't. So you've got to do it. And as I say, I wouldn't try and change too much. If you really do feel your life is a mess, and I get all sorts of life stories, which is, I'm absolutely fine receiving. Sometimes the shock treatment is the best way to go. But you've got to really have a disciplined attitude to change it. So, as we go through this series, I do want to stress a lot of it is going to be about mindset and how that fits in with what we do, and the mental approach to this game as much as anything. There is absolutely no issue with any of you having the goal of winning a load of money for a few hours and a few clicks. I've got no. If somebody comes to me and says, I want to win a load of money, I don't go, well, no, that's not what you want. I've got no problem having that goal. It's a good, solid goal. That's really what we should all be here for. But unfortunately, it's a goal that to get to requires, just like anything else in life, whether, I've said this so many times, whether you want to, for me, it was golf, hitting thousands of golf balls, snooker players, hours and hours of practice. If you want to be a lawyer, you do 4 or 5 years. If you want to be a doctor, very much in the press at the moment with elections and NHS, what is it, 6 years you've got to do? And just like that, punting, trading, you've got to do the groundwork. You've got to do your apprenticeship. You've got to go through your struggles, your initial bits of shit that anybody starting anything has to do. It takes lots of stages, lots of hard graft, lots of understanding from the outset. And then it starts to get easier, and you start to understand what you can do. I now have, and there's some guys in here who are sort of privy to it, a lot more automation. I can actually now get up and make 6 figures a year without doing anything, literally not doing, producing one sheet to go into a bot and then not doing anything else. I don't want to do that, because I enjoy the manual side of it. It's great, and I've got that automation running, but I don't just want to do that because I wouldn't know how I fill my time. I enjoy the stuff I'm going to show you tonight, the research and the stuff going through and building systems, developing ways I want to trade that suit me. There is an absolute, since I started I thought there was a lot of betting information online when I started in 2006, 7. It was brand new to me. I just didn't know the online world at all. I couldn't believe how it worked, what was out there, some of the shite that was out there, the affiliate nonsense that went on. We fast forward to 2024, there is an absolute ton of information on football trading. There's multiple sites dedicated to it, of which FTS is one, and probably I would almost certainly say the longest standing one. There are multiple gurus out there, whatever a guru is. I am not a guru. I don't want to be a guru. I don't claim to be a guru. I am someone who trades day in, day out, and I live my life by certain values, and I've done a lot of work on that, how I want to live my life as you get older. And one of my values is helping people, and it extends to many areas of my life. It's, helping people is a value of mine. It makes me happy. People don't have to agree with that or believe it or whatever. I enjoy helping people in all sorts of things. It just gives me joy, makes me smile. And it might be financially, it might be advice, having a coffee with somebody, talking through a problem they may have, whatever it may be. I mentioned yesterday on the podcast about I've got involved in a housing thing that's nothing to do with me. I don't know anything about it, but I've really enjoyed the process, and I feel that I'm helping the people. It doesn't actually affect me, but I'm helping the people at the end of it. This is no different. There's no agenda. This series is completely free. I'm going to talk and use FTS data because that's what I use. And yes, there is a charge to use FTS data because there's a lot of work that goes into producing it, and I don't produce it. Alistair and other people help that come out. So that charge pays that fee, but there's a cost to producing and maintaining accurate data. When you see what I'm going to show you tonight, you try and get in your head what it's like to store a price for every minute of every game in every market from, you know, you imagine 300-400 games on a Saturday. Where's that information going? How big a data do you need? How do you manage it all? That's the sort of thing that we're doing now, and you're going to see some of this evening. Get to it. But what I do share, you don't have to be an FTS member. Of course, we want you to be, because that funds all the data and keeps people going. But you can use it for anything you wish. What I want to achieve in this is to help you improve and understand better what you're going to do. That leads me into the next thing. There will, without doubt, there'll be people watching this who use other sites. I'm not here to criticize other sites. When I first came online, I did, quite vocally, and it got me in a load of shite, I'll be honest, because I didn't understand the world. And I just remember somebody who's really prominent now in horse racing, and I've got nothing against him. He's a good lad. I mean, we kind of fell out because I went after him. But I've got nothing against him. I think what he does is really good. But back in 2007-8, he was trying to sell at the start of the football season, back every team, back a draw for every team. And if you didn't get a draw that week, you back that team the next week for a draw. And I could just see a car crash coming down the line. In my head, I just thought, this is ridiculous. And the season he did it, I think Everton went 15 games without a draw. You know what it's like, Martingale. You get to back a draw for £1. Then you're trying to win that back in the next game, and you keep going. By the time you scale it up 15 times, you're having about 15, 20 grand on. I think Tottenham went a whole season without a draw. So I fell out with the guy. I learned a lot from it, that going after people doesn't achieve anything. There are people out there who specialise in going after people for whatever reason. What I will say is, as I cover some stuff tonight, if you are from another site, you may think that comes from there or that's what they do. It is not intentional. People win at this game in a myriad of ways. I have multiple strategies in multiple markets. People have complex statistical models, simple statistical models, Bayesian models. Some people scout. Some people watch games in play. Some people use scanners. Some feel gut instinct is enough. I am not here to slate what you do. I'm going to show you how something may be slated to work, or that you believe will work, may not. And that may cause people to strategy hop, which I think is one of the biggest issues with why people fail at this game, is they just keep chopping and changing. I'll try and explain through, you know, tonight's going to be a session on this in a minute, explaining why things don't work, and why other things do. Ultimately, whatever you do, it doesn't matter all the things I just talked about and whatever we do on FTS. Ultimately, to win at this game, only one thing's going to happen. The maths have to add up over time. It is as simple as that. The phrase I've used for 17 years, this game is mathematics. Odds are reflective of percentages, and you have to bet with value, or you have to beat those odds time and time and time and time and time and time again, to accumulate profit. That is what's going to happen. And that is it. It doesn't matter what method you choose. If the maths don't work out, you are going to bleed money away over a period of time. So I'm going to start there. Tonight, I'm going to look at some in-play trading. And it's a common area that pops up to me, stuff I get asked about. I'm going to specifically focus on games that have had a goal. So a goal has gone in, and it might go in early, it might go in 30 minutes, 40 minutes. A goal's gone in. We know, and many sites and myself have used the phrase goals lead to goals. But what do you actually do? There's lots of people who sit and a goal goes in and they go, right, goal goes in, it's 1-0, there's high pressure, loads of attacking, whatever. What do you actually do? What that goal goes in, the market resets. What is your strategy? And I'm going to talk you through. So I'm just going to share some screen now, and we're going to go through some slides. I'm going to go through some sheets, and we're going to do some little bits and pieces. So just let me set this. Here we go. This is that slick production that I talked about. Right, so I need to get that there. Slick, isn't it? Don't see this by the big boys. Slides from beginning. I'm going to dive between slides and a couple of spreadsheets. He says, hold on a second, super slick. Is Richmond in giving me stick? What I'm going to say with this, there will be, as I go through this next bit, by all means, I want to invite questions. If you can note down the slide or the game that I'm talking about and note your question down. We'll have 15-20 minutes at the end where I'll get to as many questions. If I don't get to your question, send it in to support Kerry. Thank you ever so much, and then I can cover it at the start of the next session next week. Right, so let me just get this going. It's right from the beginning. Right, so I'm going to share this. How do I do this? Here we go. Slick, isn't it? Anyone fallen asleep yet? I'll try and get you all finished by the football. Right, and I might have to make things bigger as we go. Right, so many people, as I say, follow to this approach. It may be that you've joined an alert system. You know, there's sites now that set alerts up. I don't really understand how they work. I'm not a member of any, but something happens in a game and they send an alert to your Telegram saying, you know, goals being scored. You know, people use scanners with dangerous attacks or whatever, and I'm going to come to that in a minute. So you join this group, simple betting structure. It gives you an alert after, say, 20 minutes that a game is 1-0. There've been, sharp end of that starts. There have been 6 corners, 12 dangerous attacks, whatever they may be. What is a dangerous attack? 82 high pressure score, whatever that may be. I say this genuinely. I'm not taking what I mean. I don't know what it means. I don't think anybody knows what it means. I go and watch football. I don't know what a dangerous attack is when it is happening. I know after the event, I know if Spurs have charged up the pitch and hit the bar, I might class that as, well, that was a dangerous attack. They nearly scored. But what is a dangerous attack? Is it 12 yards from goal? Is it getting 20 yards from goal? Is it getting 6 yards from goal? Is it 4 attackers? Is it 8 attackers? I think the influx of this stuff into the betting world, I really don't think it's helped. I think it's been done, you know, people like Bet365 run it. I think it's done to encourage people to bet. I think people have then picked it up and put it in scanners and things. I don't know what it means. And I feel free to email in and tell me what they mean. You know, you need if I want to have a bet on it, I need a firm definition of what is a dangerous attack. Right, how many dangerous attacks are there per goal in football? That would be my starting point. Is there 1 goal for every 10 dangerous attacks? Okay, now I might have a starting point. But I genuinely have no idea. So the alert comes through, it's 1-0, 20 minutes. The alert says more goals expected, or another goal expected, or bet late goals. What does it all mean? What do you as a football trader sitting there on a Saturday afternoon, what do you do? And as I say, I think this is where many slip up. Do you back over 1.5 goals? So another goal's coming, so you're going to back over 1.5. Do you back over 2.5? Do you back over 3.5? Do you back another first half goal? Do you wait until 80 minutes and back goals at the end? I think many people flip about a combination of all this with no financial success whatsoever. So they'll try one for a bit and then they'll flip to the other one. And the reality is that probably a lot of it just does not work over time. And I'm going to walk you through some scenarios in a minute. And I know that people play about with this stuff, you know, and a goal goes in. Let's say, I don't know, there's 1-0 on 20 minutes. A goal goes in on 52 minutes. And whoever's providing the alert jumps up and down, sending flames, boom, goal, this, that, and the other. Can we actually make money about it? It can all be, and probably is in most cases, completely and utterly meaningless in the grand scheme of things. And all this affects your mindset, all affects your, because if you're doing something and you do it 4, 5, 6, 7 times and find you're not going anywhere, then it is a natural instinct to change. And you just go around, and all this then leads you to, well, I can't make any money, I can't do this. But it appears, because these alerts are putting flames out, it appears that everybody else is making money. The reality is they aren't. That's the harsh reality of it. They aren't. They might win a mad bet, they might win the odd bet. Next to none of them are making consistent cash. So I'm going to walk you through some scenarios now. So I've just got to, I've put the wrong slide. I need the sheet up first. Sorry. Told you it'd be slick. I need a sheet first. Slicker than anything more. Those new to FTS, it's always new to these productions. It's always like this, doesn't change. Right, so that's what we want. Let's start with this. I think it's big enough for you. If it's not big enough, let me know if people can't see it. And remember, you can watch this back after we've finished, and you'll be able to pause it and look at these things in a bit more detail yourself. So this is a sheet we provide on FTS for FTS Advanced members. So basically, you've got the advanced data sheet on the front. So this is our, for those again who haven't seen this on FTS, this is our football data sheet. It's bang up to date, 35,000 games, up to date to the last Brazilian game the other night. Gets updated every day. It's got a whole host of information on it. It's got form, it's got our predicted score lines, it's got Poisson models, it's got all the markets, it's got our model prices, it's got all the results, it's got all the goal times, it's got all the second half, whether there was goals, all the profit and loss. It's basically got everything that you could ever need to trade football. And it is the exact sheet that I use. On this side, this is just a simple analysis sheet. So basically I've set here the home price to greater than equal 101, less than equal 1,000. So that is including every game that we've got a home team price for. The only thing that would stop us having a home team price would be if Betfair was down. So out of 35 odd thousand games, 99.9% of them have got a price. And we've basically got boxes here. So it says basically based on when the first goal in the game is scored, how many games then have another goal. So if we've broken it into 5 9-minute intervals, so each half, the first half into 5 9-minute intervals, so 1 to 9 minutes, 10 to 18, 19 to 27, 28 to 36, and anything 36 plus, so 37, including all the injury time that you would get at the end of the first half. So out of this sheet here, where we've got 35,000 games, 6,411 of them have had a goal in the first 9 minutes, and 6,000 of that 6,400 games had another goal. So if there's a goal in a game, basic terms, in the first 9 minutes, 93% of those games have another goal. And that equivalent odds of that is 107. If it comes in the 10th to 18th, so it's 0-0 on the 10th minute, there's a goal on the 12th minute. We got 5,935 games where the first goal was scored in 10 to 18 minutes. 5,400 of those, 451 had another goal, so we're up to down to 91.84%. The odds go up. Odds are just a reflection of percentages. So basically, to get to this 109, it's just 100 divided by 91.84. We're just finding out what this percentage is as an odds. And as we go through the match, 19 to 27, you can see that the percentage rightly goes down because there's less time in the game for there to be another goal. So that percentage should drop, and it does drop in every single band down to half time. And then down the bottom, we've got exactly the same here for 2 goals. So 1 to 9 minutes, still got 6,411 games have a goal 1 to 9 minutes, but only 4,855 have another 2 goals in the game. So it goes 1-0 to 3-0, or 1-0 to 2-1, or 1-0 to 1-2. And that's 75%. And again, it comes down to 70% for 19 to 27. 10 to 18 rather than 19 to 27 is 65%. So what I'm going to show you some games in a minute with the first 20 minutes, and these numbers become key. We haven't got exactly 20 minutes, but we can take 10 to 18, and then we see it goes up to 112 between 19 and 27. I can pretty safely assume that if there's a goal in the first 20 minutes of a football match, about 90% of those games have a further goal. Because we've got 93%, 91. As we get up high into the high 20s, it's 89. So I can make a reasonable assumption that a game of football, any game of football that we're talking about, there's 28 leagues, 39,000 games. Without doing anything, any game of football that has a goal in the first 20 minutes, I can make a reasonable assumption without looking at anything else. I don't need models. I don't need anything else. I can make a reasonable assumption that 90% of those games are going to have a goal. So if I just start an alert service tomorrow and I look at every game that is 1-0 on 20 minutes, and I send out, say to you guys, right, it's going to be £30 a month, and I send out more goals expected, I'm going to be right 90% of the time. Absolutely fantastic. You're going to love it. Boom's going off, flames everywhere. 90% of the time I'm right. Very small downside for me because only 10% of the time I'm going to be wrong. I can make up a little excuse, or just wasn't our night, guys, our luck. And I'm rolling in clover. You lot are giving me £30 a month. Alerts are coming. You're enjoying yourself. I've got to do nothing except for look at any game of football and go goal in the first 20 minutes. More goals expected. Crack on. Off you go. It's basically how it works. I'm not exaggerating. That is how it works. And 2 goals expected. All we've got down the bottom, of those who haven't seen this sheet, if you're in advanced, is we've got the leagues broken down because obviously some leagues produce better than others. So in 1 to 9 minutes, you can see that in German Bundesliga, it's 98%. So I'll set my alert up and now I'm just going to pick German Bundesliga and I'm going to send you every game that's 1-0 on 20 minutes. And 98% of the time, I'm going to be right. It's absolutely useless to you, but it's great because goals are going in. There's only a 2% downswing for me. Off we go. Hopefully you start to understand how this shit works. What we actually need to do is understand when we get that and we decide we want to bet 1-0 on 20 minutes, I go back to the question I started with. What do we do? How do we actually make money? How do we know we're going to make money? That's the key. I get up in the morning to trade football. I know I'm going to make money. Not every day, not every week, not every month. I know if I just keep going and doing the same things I do over a period of time, that I've got what they call the edge of the market. I've got a lift on the market. I've got an edge. So I'm going to make money. I've just got to keep recycling it and I've got to stay in the game with a bankroll set up properly. And I've got to accept that I'm going to have some bad periods and lose. And as long as I ride those out, the numbers will play out over time, mathematics. So I'm going to switch back to the slides now because we've sort of talked to those numbers and I've put some of them in the slides and I'm going to come back to it. I think maybe at this point, before I move into the slides, does everybody understand what I've said there? Let's just quickly see. If there's anything to answer on that now, I can answer it because I can move this sheet. I don't need it anymore. So just check. Anything I like that, David? Anything we don't know what an attack is? Ian's a system hopper. Not after you've watched this series, you won't be Ian. Thank you ever so much for your kind words, Sal. No, he doesn't know what an attacker is. Evening to those of you who's come in late. Right, I'm going to take it as all clear. If there's anything there, perhaps Kerry, you can give me a shout. Let's get her working. That'll cheer her up. Kerry, get her working. Right, I'm going to stop the share and I'm going to just go through the slides and I've prepared some games that I'm going to walk you through to show you how these sort of numbers pan out and look at can we actually make this stuff play. And it will probably, for those of you who do this stuff, my goal really is probably to stop you doing it, if I'm honest. And so, one of my sayings is sometimes the best bets you'll have best bets in this game are the ones you don't have. If you stop doing the wrong things, then you've got a great chance of winning. To become a winner, you've got to stop losing first. That's the fifth. You've got to stop. Most people lose. You've got to stop the losing. Identify why we lose, and it's because of stuff like this. And then once you stop the losing, we can focus on changing things around to become winners. Right, share. Close that sheet. Don't need it. Get your slides up. Right, we're going to go there from beginning. I'll talk you through them. It's going to be super slick. Yeah, everyone's going to go from here. There'll be a load of new alert systems starting tomorrow. They'll be all over Twitter. People are just thought, I'm going to do a Bundesliga alert system. 98% of the time, people love it, and they would love it. I'm not being funny. That is how a lot of these people work. They love it because there's no downside for them. They don't tell you what to do they? They just put, oh yeah, I made a load of money there. Yeah, okay. Conveniently, you happen to back over 3.5. Never told anybody to. Like that blogger bloke yesterday. I mean, I've got that in the podcast that accompanies this, which will come out tomorrow. Puts 3, 4, 5 grand bets everywhere. Thanks ever so much, Fisher, like that, slicker than the average. And they all lose, and then he has an 11 grand winner that no one's ever known about. Oh no, I had this 11 grand bet, put me in profit. I didn't share it anywhere. And people fall for this shit. It's an incredible game, punting. It really is, and and I think it's got worse. I thought it was shit when I started online. It's got worse. Right, football trading nuts and bolts session 1. Okay, right. What is key here is whether you can see, and if you can't, can I make it bigger? Oh. I'm not sure whether I can. Can I make that bigger? Might be best to do it this way. Hold on a minute. This is Super Slick Demo. We're in it now, aren't we? Right, can you see it that way? And I can make it bigger here. There we go. We'll do it like this. I'm not gonna do it as a presentation. So this is a game here, and I've had to, obviously, because we're in closed season when I've prepared this. This is a game in Japan, and these are our model numbers at it. So this is just a web page that I have. These are our model numbers in it, and these are the pre-match odds. So this was a game that was played on the 15th of June. Kyoto versus Sapporo. Kyoto were the favourites, 2.22. Over 2.5 goals. These prices are 5 minutes pre-kickoff was 1.95. Over 1.5 was 1.31. The first half goal was 1.43. So this would be a game that I might potentially look at, because we've got, these are our goal models, and our goal models, you know, half time and full time. Our goal models based on 6, we're predicting 3.3 goals, and our full time model, we're predicting 3.2 goals over the season model, and on over 2.5. So there's a lot I like about that game. The game ended, I'll do the score first. The game ended 2-0. Goal on the 18th minute, goal in the 20th minute. So this sheet here now is exactly the same game. Can go up through, no, can't speak, can't lie. Kyoto Sapporo. But what I've done here now, I've got a slider I can move along, and I've moved it to the 19th minute. So that goal there, it's actually easier for me this way, was on the 18th minute. So this slider now shows me the 19th minute. The goal's gone in, the market's reset. It's now 1-0. Over 0.5 goal market is shut. Over 1.5 goal market has reset at 109. So we're in the 19th minute of the game, and we've reset at 109. And if you remember from our price that I said, 90% is roughly 1.11. So if I just go to this side and walk you through that, I'm just going to make this is super slick. I'm loving it. But if I don't, it's important that you're able to see it. So I'm going to get to that. You can see over 1.5. So you get the alert. It's gone 1-0. Kyoto Sapporo. We've got good numbers pre-match. It's odds on over 2.5. A goal's gone in. The market's reset. The alerts come through. 1-0. More goals expected. Right. What do you do? Over 1.5 is 109. Do we know? Is that what you wish to have? We know that it's 90% and it's 1.11. Why would we bet over 1.5 at 109? We might win that. Do we want to bet at 109? I don't. Over 2.5 is 1.5. On our sheet, 2 more goals. The general is about 1.44. So it beats that. But do we get enough games from this alert? And that's all it's about. Might win this one. We didn't actually, because it only ended 2-0. So we go back over 2.5 at 1.5, we lose. But do we get enough games overall to enable us to make money at it? No idea. Until you record this stuff and make notes about it, I have absolutely no idea. Do you want to bet at 1.5 all the time? Again, probably not for me. Over 3.5. Yeah, what I did, mate, I backed over 3.5. Okay, so you backed over 3.5. The over 3.5 odds are 2.52. 2.52 for over 3.5 goals. Can we trade that? I have, again, absolutely no idea. Can you trade it? I don't know, because until I trade enough of them and see, I know, let's say I'm going to have £100 on it. Every loser's going to calls me £100. What do I win? What are my winnings going to be across the winning ones? Am I going to trade for green? Am I going to remove my liability? Am I going to bet it and leave it? All these decisions we've got to make. They'll all have different returns, and we've got to know what those returns are. So all of a sudden, these super methods start to come with a load of complications that actually I don't know what I'm doing. I've got to make a decision on what I want to do. Do we back late goals? I mean, what's this one here? The second goal came fairly quickly, so let's just look at that. The next slide is now the market reset. So now you can see over 1.5's gone. The second goal came. So if we had backed over 2.5, we'd have backed it at 1.5. We'd have been able to get out and lay at 1.1. We'd have been able to back over 3.5 at 2.52, and we've been able to get out at 1.46. That's great. Sounds great. I backed it at 1.5. I got out at 1.1. Great. Can you do it enough times? Does that happen enough times? Not one game or two games or three games. Does it happen enough times that you can sit there all on your Saturdays and eventually it leads to you having more money in your bank than you started? And that is the question that we've got to ask. And that's all it becomes about. What do these prices, what does it give me to do? And I'm going to sort of walk you through it. So I've put there, second goal came quickly, 1.5 lands, 2.5 trades land, 3 live, lovely. But does it happen enough? It's what you need to ask. We know the 1.5 doesn't, because we need 1.11 and above without fail to make a profit. The 2.5, we didn't get the third goal. So if we bet it, we lost. If we trade it, obviously 1.5 to 1.1. How much are we winning? How many of those do we need to win to counter every one that we don't win when there's no goal? And similarly, the 3.5. What about a late goal? What about if we get a late goal? So I'm not going to do anything. It's 1-0. I'm going to sit and wait till 80 minutes. And somebody said to me, and I don't know where this is, I don't know whether it's on Twitter, Facebook, or whatever else, or another service, I genuinely don't. Somebody said to me that there's a service out there makes an absolute killing back in late goals at 2.2. I had a little exchange with them. What are you classing as late goals? 80 minutes. We go on at 80 minutes, 2.2. The minute they said that, I know it's bullshit. The minute they say that to me, I know it's bullshit. And the great thing that has happened in football trading and betting is everything now with data can be checked pretty quickly. Back in 2006-7, I was using pen and paper and it couldn't. But everything can be checked now relatively within minutes. And I'm going to walk you through that. So that's the claim the guy made to me, that you can bet 80 minutes, odds of 2.2 for another goal, and making a fortune. So I don't know what the criteria is to enter the game. That's just that I'm giving you the information that was told me, and I thought I've got to put it in here because there might be some of you on there doing it, and well, you're not doing it because it's bollocks, basically. Pardon my language, but it ain't. Did say there'd be the odd swear word. Hold on a minute, I've got to stop my screen and share. I've got to get another sheet up. Like them slides, aren't they slick? Me mousing around all over the place. I'm just conscious they're not big enough. Right, so I'm going to share this. Let me make it a little bit bigger so you can see. Present, share screen, window. Right, so this sheet here, this is another one of my sheets. Same games, 30-odd thousand games. 30,423 in this. It's all based upon price, but pretty much all the same stuff. I'll make it bigger. The first thing, if we're going to back late goals, is we need to know how many times does it happen. A late goal happens, and I'm taking late goal. I'm going exactly the information I was given. 80 minutes onwards. Happens 39.78% of the time. I'm sure there's people here are absolutely shocked, because if you follow Twitter, you'd think it happened 95% of the time. A late goal in football happens in all games, 30,000 games. There's odds on short favourites here. There's every price covered. Odds on over 2.5, everything, 1.3 for Dutch games, the whole lot happens 39.78% of the time. And that equates to an odds of 2.51. So if you're betting odds of 2.2 and it's 2.51, you cannot possibly make money. It's absolutely impossible. Okay, yeah, but I only look at games where it's had a goal in the first 20 minutes. Okay, right. Well, I can do that. I can fly all the way back down here to another column here. And I'll go... Sorry, I'll go here. So I've got my first goal time. Okay, so I'm going to set that now and go, right, show me now numbers between 1 minute and 20 minutes. So when first goal in 20 minutes. So if a game has the first goal in the first 20 minutes, I'm going to get me alert. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to go and back over whatever the overs is. So 1-0, I'm going to back over 1.52. I'm going to back over 2.5 on 80 minutes, because that, my friends, is the holy grail to life, and that's how we're all going to be rich. And It was 2.51 all games, 39%. So it's going to be massive now. It's going to be about 80% for games where the goal goes in the first 20 minutes. It has to be, because we want to bet at 2.2. It's gone up. It's gone up 2%. It's gone up to 41%. So games that have a goal in the first 20 minutes, the big difference is 2% more of them have a goal after 80 minutes. And the odds of that is 2.41. Still a million miles away. I mean, in betting terms, it is a million miles away from my 2.2. So the guy who's saying 2.2, which is bullshit in itself, which I'm going to get to in a minute. 2.2 is bullshit, but the reality is you'd need to beat 2.41, and you'd need to beat it quite considerably, because obviously you're going to have to pay commission on your losers. So you're going to need to beat 2.41 to win that game, to win any money. So if you bet at 2.2, you've got what they call negative EV. You cannot possibly win. It is impossible. Got any questions with that? Note them down. We'll come back to it. I'm going to stop the share, put my slides back up. Slick as anything. Where is it? There. Don't get any of this shit with the others. There. Okay, so put my slides back up. Present, share screen, window. So there's those numbers in the cold light day. 30,423 games. I've got all the prices for 12,100 of them to goal 80 minutes onwards. 39.78%, 2.51. And if the goal was the first 20 minutes, we got 11,763 games where that happened. 4,871 of those had a goal, 41.41%, 2.41. The actual odds that we get, so this now is just some slides, hopefully you can see, because I just want to click through these. So over 2.5 goals in our Kyoto Sanga game, which was 2-0, 18 goal on the 18th minute, goal on the 20th minute. There's going to be loads of goals. There's billions of dangerous attacks. Everything's happens. The price at 80 minutes. So what I've done here on my slider, I've gone into the second half. You can see it's white. I've got 80th minute odds. The price for a goal is another one is 1.85. 1.85. So where are people back in 2.2? Or is this just this must just be a complete and utter anomaly game? It's Japan, massive scoring league, real anomaly game, isn't it? 1.85. I'm being sarcastic, by the way. I hate Japan. No, I don't hate Japan. I love Japan. I hate Japanese football for goals. I hate Japan. I'll get banged up for that. I've got a Scot who wants to bang me up already. 1.85. Ian, stay on track. Okay, so that's Kyoto 80 minutes. So that equivalent is to 1.85 equivalent. The market's saying there's going to be a 54% chance of another goal, but we know they only happen 39% of the time. So to make money at this price, to make money at 1.85, you would need to be right that there's going to be a late goal around 60% of the time. And I've done the maths for you. So 100 bets at 1.85 for 54%. If you have 60 winners, 60 times 0.85, you win 51 points. We then have to take our commission off our winning bet. So we'd win 49 points. And then you're going to have 40 losers because you've had 60 winners. So you've got to take 40 points off. So for your 100 bets, if you could, and I'm telling you that you can't, if you could bet at 1.85 and you could get 60% strike rate, you'd win 10 points on average for every 100 bets you have. Obviously, it wouldn't fall 60-40 public. But that to make a 10 points is probably a reasonable living for the work you put in. If it went down to 5, you're putting a lot of work in for even less. This nonsense that you can bet at 2.2, and I mean, when I asked him to send me some records, they didn't even have commission in it, so I kind of just put it in the bin and gave up. But I know there'll be people who've, and I don't mean it disrespectfully, people doing this stuff. It's bollocks. This is nonsense. I put the numbers down. I cannot get 60% in games at 1.85 over 2.5 over goal. I cannot do it. Nobody can. It's impossible, because if it did, we'd all be doing it, and it wouldn't be 1.85. All of a sudden, it'd be a lot shorter. That's how markets work. So what about other games then? That 1.85 was an anomaly. Well, there's a game here, San Jose Earthquakes. It was 1.97. There's already 4 goals in this game. We know that because we're on 80th minute. The over 0.5's closed, 1.5's closed, 2.5's closed, 3.5's closed, 4.5's closed. So it must have been 5-0 or something to somebody. And it's 1.97 for another goal on 80 minutes. That's a 50% chance. Another game, Seattle on 80 minutes. So this time again, 2 goals in the game. It's 1.97, 50.76% chance. Toronto, Chicago. I've got to remember, America. These are American games. American games have a lot of goals. You know, you look at their league average; it's one of the highest, 2.06. So, what are you betting in to get 2.2 regularly and make this killing? Let me know, please. I'll be there. 48%. Yokohama, so another Japanese game, 0.04. So you can see we've gone from 1.85 to 2.06. And we know we need to beat 2.2 on 80 minutes to win. It just doesn't happen. And the key element of this, what I want you to take out of this is you've got to know these numbers. You've got to know that it's 39%. You've got to know that if you add filters to that, so like we did a goal the first 1 to 20 minutes, that it is, hang on a minute. Oh, she's looking at holidays. She's on here looking at holidays. Should be paying attention. Yeah, I shouldn't have read that text. Yokohama. You've got to know that if it's 1 to 20 minutes, it only goes up to 41.41% because the football trading world makes you believe that these numbers are bigger. And I try and keep people. I said earlier when I started, I find the game easier now. But if you're struggling around and people are feeding you crap like this, I can understand why it's hard. I can understand why people aren't getting anywhere. And you know, the first part of this, I wanted to highlight some of this to talk you through these things and show you. The typical odds for 80 minutes are around about 2, 1.9 to 2. You know, games, French League 2, you might get over 2.2, Spanish Segunda, you know, shit leagues. But invariably across the board, you're going to find yourself around about 1.9 to 2 on 80 minutes, certainly not on 2.2. And as I've said, the strike rates you need at the prices actually there. And I do win money betting after 80 minutes. I've got criteria that I apply, that I use, but it is exactly that. It's like 8 to 10 points per 100 bets, and you go on runs of losses, you know, 8, 10, 12 games where you don't get it. It's the mental test as well. Right, so this is another game now. We're just going to move on to a slightly different method same approach, goal in 20 odd minutes. This is on the 19th of June. This was Austin versus Los Angeles. Again, we've got good XG figures, 3.58 here, 3.23. As I say, you can go back and watch these and blow that up a bit. Now you've got the idea. So I've got all my pre-match prices, 5 minutes pre-kickoff. The goal went in on about 20, I think it was about 22 minutes in this game, something like that. So the market's reset, 0.5 is closed. I've moved my slider along to where the market's reset in the first half here. Over 1.5 reset on our bang on our number, 1.11. It's the same question. Do we back over 1 point? What do you do? This is the bit that people have got to be clear in their head. When you get that, what are you going to do and why are you doing it? Are we going to back 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, first half 1.5? You know, again, as my provider, I'm your provider. Second first half goal goes in. I go, oh yeah, first half 1.5, bang, nailed it. You go, right, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do first half 1.5 because he did that. And you have 5 goes at that and don't get the goal. And then next time I go over 2.5, nailed it. And hang on a minute, you said 1.5. Did you do 2.5? Oh yeah, I do 2.5 sometimes. Oh yeah, right, I'll do that. And this is what happens. It just spirals into this ever-venting loss that you can't get out of. So do you want to bet the 1.11? We know we can't make money doing that. It's just, you know, there'll be people who do bet it, I'm sure. Over 2.5 at 1.48, again, beats our general 1.44. Exactly the same questions. Do we get enough games that we can trade? How are we going to trade them? Over 3.5 at 2.5, odds of 2.5. Confusing, 3.5 at 2.5, but the back odds are 2.5. Can we trade that? The game finished 1-1. The goal was on 90th minute, sorry. So 90 minutes, it's 1-1. So this game had a 90th minute. So if we backed over 1.5 at 1.11, we'd have won it. If we'd chosen anything else other to trade, we're down the Swanee. The 2.5 ain't going to trade. The 3.5. So we've had another goal. So this is one where, at least 89 billion% of these games have another goal. I can't do anything with it because the goals come on 90th minute. So there was no option to trade. I can't claim anything because the only thing I could claim is when I backed the 1.5 at 1.11. I've already told you I don't do that. So, I'd be talking bullshit. There's no way to make money out of the way that game's panned out. It has to go down as a loser. So that's my first point loss. And be winners at whatever method I'm going to use. If I'm backing over 1.5 goals now, winning 0. I need 11 winners to get back into 0.1 profit. Comes a long, hard work. I'm just walking you through some examples. They're all slightly different. So this is a Kashima game, but again, we've got over 3. Interestingly enough, in this game, we got a really good. So these two teams have been generating goals over the last 6 games, but the long-term picture is only 1.9, so not great. All the market prices, so it's slightly, obviously, owing to the sort of the production of these numbers. Over 2.5 goals was 2.14 in this case. Odds on home favourite. Wouldn't be a game I would look at to bet, but I'm just using it as an example. 16th of June. You can look these games up. They're real games if you don't believe me. The game ended 1-1. So this time we had a goal on 43 minutes. So let's take a slightly different view. We're not, I've not got my alert going now. This isn't my alert. This is, I'm watching the game. I've got my scanner up. I'm watching the game. My scanner's on fire and it's gone 1-0 on 43 minutes. I think, right, everything on my scanner or my whatever it may be. I'm just watching the game. I'm watching it, and I'm really good at watching games and deciding there's going to be more goals. The goal whisperers, I call them. And I'm not criticising. People may well be able to do it. I can't, I assure you. So goal went in on 43 minutes. You can see we had a second goal on 49 minutes, and it went 1-1. So I'm watching it. Over 1.5 resets this time because it's later in the game. It's reset at 1.25. Do I want to back at 1.25? It's more attractive than 1.11, but the question remains exactly the same. How does that tie in with my long-term numbers? Can I make money betting goals that go in 40-odd minutes and back in another goal? Over 2.5 at 2.16. Again, I need to know my percentages. Over 3.5 at 5. All of a sudden, that might look tradable. Particularly as it comes that the goal came on 49 minutes. So now 1.37. What was our trade profit? And over 3.5 would be the same question. So here we were able to back over 2.5 after the first goal at 2.16. When the second goal went in just 6 minutes later, so we obviously had half time, kicked off again, scored pretty early straight away. I could now get out at 1.37. What is my trade? Do we green? Do we remove liability? What are we going to do? I've done it for you. So I've worked all this out for you. So I've backed over 2.5 for £100 at 2.16. So goal's gone in 43 minutes. I've let the market settle. I'm going to back over 2.5. I've had £100 at 2.16 and I am going to green on a goal. So £100 at 2.16 is going to win me 116 in the market, but we know we're going to trade it. The price, the market's reset. Actually, the lay price, the back price is 1.37. The lay price is 1.38. I need to take the other side, so I'm going to lay it. So my lay stake needs to be 100 to be. I've done it to the exact penny. £156.52 at 1.38. That leaves me a liability for that part of the bet of 59.48. If you've got software like BA Bet Angel, it does this for you. You click a button to green, and it would enter this. It will calculate that's the amount needed and do it for you. So my over 2.5 back profit. If the game went over 2.5, I'd win £116 from my back bet. I'd lose 59.48 from my lay bet where I've traded it. And that would equate to a £56.52 profit if it went over 2.5. If it was under 2.5, I'd lose my £100 back bet, but I win my full lay bet, £156. So I end up with the same profit. So either way, I'm going to end up in that scenario of £56 profit on that game, betting the goal after 43 minutes. My commission, we have to include that, would be minus 113. It's commission on the market, although I'm playing 2 bets, they're in the same market, so the commissions on the profit. So I would make £55 at 2p commission, 55.39 profit. So in this scenario, lovely, I win 55 quid every time. But how many games of football do you know where the goals come within 6 minutes of each other? And do we get enough of them that we can make a profit? Because one loser, if I lose the lot, one loser, so I put my £100 in at 2.16, get no goals, I lose my £100. I'm winning 55 on a winner with the goals just 6 minutes apart. So I need 2 winners for every loser. So I need to run at 66%. I am telling you now, there is not a way in life that there are 66% games of football where the goal is within 6 minutes. Look at some of the shit you've been watching in the Euros. Just go through. Football is a low scoring game. So you've got to understand we need that just to make small money, to make meaningful money and sit there all day doing this. You'd need to be running at 80-90% to make money, and it is impossible. It's not going to happen in a million years. You're probably thinking I'm all doom and gloom at the minute, but I'm talking you through the episode 1 is to talk you through the stuff people do that I want to shift you out of, and I'm going to show you plenty of stuff that you can do that works. So we've got Nagoya, final one, Nagoya versus Shonan. I don't know what we're doing for time. 8 o'clock. Sorry if I've ran into the football. I'll be quick as I can. Nagoya versus Shonan. Again, got all my pre-match prices. This one over 2.5 goals, 2.4. So we've had odds on. We've now gone complete other scale. Our goal models around about 2.5 goals again, pretty average. And favourite even money. So Nagoya, the first goal. What I'm going to do is look at trading this one for 3.5 goals. That's a method that gets talked about. So it's now the goal went in on 33rd minute. I actually put it on the slide there, which helps. So I've gone in again. I've moved my slider to 35th minute when it reset. Goals gone in, 0.5 mark, it's closed. Over 3.5 goals has reset at 4.2. So I'm going to back over 3.5 goals. It's 1-0. I'm going to back over 3.5 goals at 4.2. And I'm placing that bet. That was around about 35-36 minutes. So the second goal came on the 60th minute. You can see here now, so I've backed this at 4.2 on 35 minutes. The second goal came on 60th minute, only 25 minutes. And the price has reset to lay at 4.6. It's higher than my 4.2 entry price, so I can't win money. So what do? Do I exit for a loss? Do I sit and wait and hope for another one and then and trade it then? Do I take a punt on 2 more? There was just 27 minutes between the 2 goals here, and I can't make any money. If we want to trade for profit, what time span do we need? 10 minutes, 20 minutes? How many of our alert games have a follow-up goal within 10 minutes, within 20 minutes? All this you need to know if you want to make money doing this game. You've got to know what happens in the strategy you're operating, and is there really a realistic chance of making money? I'm going to be really clear. Only certain things work. And unfortunately, the biggest reason that people lose money is because they don't understand and care about this. And they don't want to. There'll be people who've switched off this, think, fuck me, that's far too complicated. I don't want to do all that. I just want to have a bet, mate. Absolutely fine. Don't talk about winning, though. That's absolutely fine. If you want to do it properly, you've got to know this about your strategy, what you're doing, what your strike rate is. So I have a strategy that I share with some people in here where I back a goal and I trade out for a point loss. And I know that I win enough more than I lose that enables me to make money. So it's a slow ticking 60% strategy. Win 60, lose 40, make money over a period of time. Win 57, lose 43. Make money over a period of time. Just keep executing it. But I know exactly how it's put together. I know that it works. I know that's what happens. So if I have 8 losers, it doesn't bother me because I know over thousands of games that pans out. But you've got to know this. So in this, 27 minutes in a football match, a quarter of the game, it's not a long period of time, and we can't make any money. So we can jump up and down and go, yes, we had another goal, but the method we chose, the 3.5, I can't win it. I've got nothing. I've got to sit now. I'm sitting now going, what do I do? Do I exit for a loss? Shall I take a red? I don't like taking reds. I'll wait for another one. And then you sit there and wait and nothing happens. Second minute, Georgia, 90% chance of another goal. Get the alerts out. I reckon there's been people building alerts building alert services while I'm making this video. So if I did the 2.5 markets, I'm going to go all the way back now to the first goal. I'm going to bin that 4.2 because that doesn't work. So I'm now going to go at 1.99 to back over 2.5. I'm going to trade that one instead. So I go here. So I've traded 2.5 at 1.99. The market's reset at 1.67. So that's good. It's lower than my entry price. I can trade that. I can green up at 1.67. Let's do the maths. I have £100 at 1.99. I win £99. My lay price is 1.67. My lay stake would be £119.16. I've done it all for you. 79.84 would be your liability on that. Software such as BetAngel does it for you. So if it went over 2.5, my back profit would be £99 minus my lay loss. I'd make £19.16. If it stayed under, my back loss would be £100, but my lay profit would be £119.16, a profit of £19.16 on the market. Take my commission off, I'd win £18.78. So in this scenario, I win £18.78 every time. Just 27 minutes between goals. I need 5 winners for every loser. So I've got to win with just 27 minutes between goals to operate this and green up on a goal. I need 5 winners for every loser to make money. So I can jump up and down at the one that goes, yippee, there's game. Nagoya got the goal. Where? Great 27. Woohoo! Do the moonwalks, do everything I want to do. But the reality is I need another 4 of those and no losers to have any chance of making money. And that is the reality of the game. That is all it's about. And I think one of the things with this type of betting, as I say, is people jump about from strategy to strategy, and they'll get themselves, let's say they went in the 3.5 market and that goal hasn't come. And then they think, well, goal hasn't come. I'm not going to be in. I know now I've got past 27 minutes. I can't make money. So they're back in 2.5, then they're back in 1.5, and they're back in the late goal. And they end up putting so much in the market because they're just chasing this fucking 90% chance of a goal that when one doesn't come, it all goes tits up. And we've won £19 on the winning trade, but chasing the goal, we've lost £442 because there had to be a goal. And all this shit is the mistakes that people make. That, ladies and gentlemen, is me finished for this session. I hope you have enjoyed it. Please feel free to ask any questions. I do accept that some of you want to run off and watch the football. I did hope to get it done before kickoff. I apologise. Ollie's put he trading. He tends to split my stake at rising odds to give a higher average. When the market sells, that's exactly what I do, Ollie. I drip in, but you've still got to know exactly the same because all that's happening when you drip in is obviously you're giving less time. So the percentages for the chance of goal. So if it's 40% at 40% in round numbers for a goal after 80 minutes, it's not still 40% for a goal after 85 minutes. Your percentage chance of a goal comes down. But I do. That's exactly what I do. I drip in to get a bigger average price over time. When looking for an in-play method system, what would pique your interest to drill down further? Would it be a market that makes a profit over every game in the database? I'm going to come to that, David. One of the sessions is going to be on building systems and how I look at it. We got 5 parts to this. There's 4. This is number 1. There's another 4 to come. Do like and subscribe, please. It does help us, and I do this for you guys. I do hope that, I do think, Imri's put there a very lovely message that I should charge. I'm not going to charge for it, but I do think this is stuff that people should learn from and implement into their trading, and I'm happy to share it with you. I will be doing first half and second half goal betting, Ollie, yeah. The next one, that's a good question, Michael, because you think I should know that. I do believe it's July. I think there's 2 quickly. July the 2nd and then July the 4th. I think there's one on July the 2nd and one on July the 4th. I've tried to avoid, other than tonight, where possible, football nights. And I did try not to overrun. I just waffle too much tonight. Is the truth of it. But I've done all the intro. Not everyone will have the intro. I had to do the intro bit on this one. Clearly big boy stuff, because it's a big boy game, Mohammed. That's the thing. I think people just don't take it seriously enough. It is there is a lot of stigma around gambling, and people do lose money. And I want to try and stop people losing money. And the way to do it is to understand it more. It baffles me. People's approach to betting just baffles me. I find it. I think it's a fantastic pastime. I think it's great that Britain's got a culture of it in particular. I think it's something unique to us. I think it's a real shame that it's being eaten alive. I think the operators are disgusting. But ultimately, the punters just need to learn more about what they're doing, and a lot of the problems for them as an individual would improve. Right, team. I am going to please remember to like and subscribe. There's not a ton of questions. What I will do at the next session, we'll do a quick recap. So if you do think of anything, or if you watch it back, note questions down, feel free to email them in to Kerry, and then I can have a look at them in advance. But we'll give people just a recap before. And I will see you. There'll be a podcast out tomorrow, which kind of accompanies this, which you can listen to or not listen to. And the next session of this will be the 2nd of July at the same time, 7 p.m. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you all soon.